Hello and welcome once again to another edition of Senior Notebook. My name is Cleveland Thrower, and with me is the renowned, esteemed poet and author, Akua Lezli Hope. How are you today,
Delighted
Akua?
to be here with you and on Senior Notebook. It's a show I watch, and it's really affirming that our area talks to older people about what they're doing and what's available here in the area. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. You have an unusual name, Akua. Can you tell us something a little bit about that?
Sure. Akua was given to me in 1974. I'd been writing all of my youth, and I had some friends who were political, and they said, you know, you need a nom de plume. So Akua was given to me to mean sweet messenger. But as I grew up, I found out, or as I grew older and met more people, I found out that Akua exists among Canadian Native Americans, the name word to mean God, and I found out that it exists among Hawaiians that also mean God's spirit, and it's actually a Ghanaian Twi from Ghana day name for Wednesday, and I wasn't born on Wednesday. So the meaning it was given to me for, sweet messenger, I embrace that. And I'm affirmed that it exists in Ghana, Hawaii, and up north of us in Canada.
Okay, you did mention at one point in time it had something related to Hawaii also.
Yeah. Hawaii, it means God's spirit.
Okay, fantastic. How did you get started in your career of writing?
Oh, okay. There's a family story about this. And I don't remember it quite like that, but here's what I was told. When I was about 4 or 5,
Yes.
being illiterate, I would say poems to my mother, who became my secretary, wrote them down, and would read them back to me. And so that's just for me, it just affirms that writing has always been a part of my life. I can never think of a time that I wasn't writing or creating things with words. And that's because people around me were marvelously eloquent. And as the firstborn of the 3rd generation of my families in America, I got a lot of attention.
Do you have a favorite poet that you like to read about besides yourself?
You know, I rebel against that question. I chafe against that question because, and let me share with the audience why. If you like a range of music, how do you pick your favorite musician? And let's think music, because I think the terms of music are probably more familiar than poetic terms. So in terms of music, I like R&B, I like soul. I grew up hearing jazz and light classical music. So I have my favorite jazz artists, I have my favorite light classical music artists, I have my favorite opera creators. I have my favorite R&B singers. I have my favorite soul singers. I also happen to hold dear folk music. And then there's folk that I like, and folk rock that I like, and pop that I like, and pop rock that I like. World music, that's so important to me. How could I have grown up without the Brazilian music? And then when my horizons expanded in terms of world music, then there's music from Ghana. And from my own ethnic background, my grandparents came from Jamaica and Montserrat, so there's Jamaican music. Okay, I'm making this long, but I think you get my point. For all of those different genres and types of music, for me, it's the same in poetry. There are all of those different kinds of poets. And so to name someone and leave out the influence of Russians on me, the influence of South American writers on me, the surrealists on me, the fabulous, fabulous Caribbean writers from Negritude. I can't name one. But I did think about this question because it's often asked, and I did want to say a couple of names. And one of those names, not to say they're favorites, but I am an inheritor of what County Cullen did, because County Cullen was my father's junior high school teacher and lived in the same building as my father in Harlem, New York.
Okay. Hold on one second. Hold on one. We're gonna take a pause, and we're gonna come right back, and we want you to tell us more about County Cullen, and I have a few more questions for you also. Okay? Okay. We'll be right back after this.
Senior Notebook will return in a moment.